Boys and girls of all ages, it's time for Why Did This Get Made? The quiz show in which we ask a lucky member of the public to answer one simple question. Why did this get made? Our contestant today is Luke, a 21-year-old student from the United Kingdom. So, Luke, all you need to do is answer this one question. Why did Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, get made?
I don't know. Money? Maybe?
That's correct. Congratulations, Luke. Yes, the answer was money. Because if there's one thing Disney loves most, it's money.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Luke's Reviews, and on today's video I will be reviewing the sequel to 2014's Maleficent, a film that I don't think a single soul was particularly screaming for. I'll be reviewing Maleficent. I'll be reviewing Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. In regards to Maleficent, the first film, basically reinvented the story that we all thought we knew of Sleeping Beauty by taking the character of Maleficent, a villain of the Sleeping Beauty story, and presented the idea of what if she was just a little bit misunderstood and she wasn't that much of a villain and supposedly cared for Aurora instead of just endeavouring to curse her. And for me, it just didn't work. It was a story that didn't need to be told. It was a jumble mess. The only real particular highlight being Angelina Jolie as Maleficent. In this sequel that picks up 5 years after the first, Aurora is set to marry Philip, much to Maleficent's displeasure. The two families meet and tensions begin to fray as Pfeiffer, the prince's mother, appears to want to claim Aurora as her own and annihilate all moorfolk, and thus a battle appears to be imminent. For starters, I do just want to say that this is a marked improvement over the first film. One of the biggest flaws I think the first film suffered with was the relationship between Maleficent and Aurora. Everything was so rushed and haphazardly put together that the film expects you to care for these two characters when it doesn't really give you any reason to. Whereas this film, they kind of build from the ground up again to get you reinvested in these characters and the relationship, and I do think that they do a good job at setting that out. And also, in a way, this movie is kind of given free rein. It hasn't got to adhere to a story like the first one did, and can just go off and do its own thing, which I think the first film wanted to do, but you've got to stay so true to that Sleeping Beauty storyline that when they started throwing some spanners in the works, I feel like that's where just people went, what is it you're actually trying to do here? Whereas this, you kind of just do whatever. And as a result, the majority of this film is quite entertaining. It's nothing groundbreaking. It follows a very simple structure that we've seen time and time again, but elements of it were done very well, and I can't excuse the fact that certain scenes I enjoyed. Angelina Jolie was on top form, relishing in just kind of the ridiculousness of it all. Elle Fanning was actually utilised properly this time, as her character's given a little more to do rather than just ditsying around and smiling and being
all princessy.
Harris Dickinson is a significant improvement over Brenton Thwaites as the prince, and Michelle Pfeiffer, when she is pretty much just unleashed and goes ultimate bitch mode, and her and Jolie are just spitting at each other and going toe to toe, that's when I think this movie really does begin to shine. It's bright, creative, colourful, and the creative teams behind the production design and the costumes, they do such a good job. This movie feels epic in a way. And throughout the first act, throughout like a good half an hour, I thought, you know what, they might have done it here. They've completed what I didn't think was that possible and given us a really solid, entertaining Maleficent movie. This had the potential to be something great. And unfortunately, that's when the second act happened. And everything kind of came to a bit of a grinding halt. and they started falling down some of the same holes that they did in the first film. We do see this in the trailers, but at one point Maleficent is rescued by this mysterious figure, and it's revealed that there's a whole group of her kind that have been hiding away in secret in fear of the humans, and now they're preparing to go to war against the humans because they're having to live in fear and in secret. And for me, that's when this movie began to branch off and really lose a lot of focus of what it was trying to do. You have pretty much about 5 main plot threads. 5 plot threads that basically are like so integral to this story that are trying to fight each other over relevance. And in that instance, no one wins. It is a competition to see whose storyline is the most important and most integral and will capture your interest the most, and the end result is that none of them do. By the time, though, that we reach the final act, the pace does pick up again, and director Joachim Rønning, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He was one of the directors behind Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, which, honestly, I didn't mind that much. I thought it was entertaining. And he's definitely got a flair for the epic. He knows how to stage large-scale battles, and whilst it's impressive, it's nothing necessarily original. I feel like I have seen a battle of this state and stakes before, but it's cool. It has its moments. But props to him for literally, in this final act, just going hell for leather, throwing all kinds of fantasy tropes in, and yeah, some work, some kind of don't and feel a bit rushed and messy, but hey, at least he's willing to take these risks. On the whole, I think Mistress of Evil is one of those films where if you enjoyed the first one, this will be everything you hope for in a sequel. It's far bigger than the first, and somewhat better. Jolie and Pfeiffer are terrific, and there is a lot of enjoyment to be found. Sadly, though, its total lack of necessity and largely unfocused middle stop this from being great and simply settle for fine. Overall, I'm going to give Maleficent Mistress of Evil a 5.5 out of 10. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on Maleficent Mistress of Evil. Let me know what you thought of the film down in the comments below, as well as my question to you. What is your favourite Angelina Jolie performance? Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of this film down in the comments below. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. The links to all of my social media accounts are in the description below. Many thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you in the next video.